Hello and welcome to Season 4 of the Choose UCalgary Podcast, the University of Calgary's prospective student podcast. My name is Aidyn and I will be your Season 4 host. I'm a student recruitment assistant here at the University of Calgary, and I'm super excited to be able to get to chat all things UCalgary and help anyone learn more information. So joining me today, I have Amanda Mosca and Kevin Doe, who are here to talk about sustainability at the University of Calgary. So thank you guys for being here. I'm super excited to have you guys on today.
Yeah, thanks for having us on the show today.
Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. So I was just wondering if you guys could expand a little bit about your roles and introduce yourselves. Amanda, we can start with you.
Sure. So my name is Amanda Mosca. For the past 4 years or so, I've been working with the Office of Sustainability as an engagement coordinator and engagement specialist in sustainability. So primarily I develop and run, along with my team, student-focused programs. So we run volunteer programs, we work with student clubs, and also plan and host sustainability-themed events directed at students.
Awesome. Thanks so much. And Kevin, how about you?
Yeah, so I'm the Co-op Engagement Coordinator Student for this school year, and I also help Amanda with some of the student programming and help manage our volunteers and help to create some of the activities and opportunities they can get involved with. I also help run and support our social media channels as well.
That sounds really interesting. Thanks. So just kind of going off of that, what would you guys say sparked your interest in sustainability and kind of got you to the point where you are today?
Yeah, I can start. So I grew up loving the outdoors. I grew up camping and canoeing back in Ontario. And my family's actually from the Caribbean island of Trinidad and Tobago. And I went there as a young teen and witnessed a rare beach where leatherback turtles come and nest and lay their eggs. And we had an interpreter and a guide on the beach that talked about biodiversity and conservation, and that definitely sparked my interest. So I pursued ecology and conservation biology in school. I was really passionate about the environment. More recently, working with the Office of Sustainability, we have this holistic view of sustainability. So it's not just about environmental conservation, but the interconnectedness between the environment, the economy, and social and cultural sustainability as well. So I've been really interested in learning more about those intersections and how people and the environment kind of connect when it comes to sustainability.
Yeah, I actually come from a similar background to Amanda. So growing up, I was always intrigued by animals and wildlife and conservation. I was like that one kid who would like name every animal I could see, and people would be like, "How do you know that animal?" I'm like, "I just happen to know it. I love animals." But when I was entering university, I initially pursued a degree in zoology and anthropology, but I actually took this one course called Urban Studies 253, The Introduction to Cities, and that actually invoked a lot of passion and interest in that I didn't realize that I had in the city and about the social side of the city, like what social factors influence such and such in the city. And I found that this intersection between the social and economic side of things and the environmental sustainability of things was kind of the really, really intriguing part of sustainability that I never knew existed. And from there on, I actually pursued the certificate in sustainability studies. And I was really intrigued to see how far-reaching and expansive the certificate was in terms of which students from which different programs were actually participating in it.
That honestly sounds really interesting. Yeah, I've actually heard really good things about the embedded sustainability certificate at the university here. Would you mind maybe expanding a little bit more about your experience with it so far and how you got started out with it?
Yeah, actually, I remember way back in my second school year, I was taking spring courses, and when I was looking for courses in the fall catalog, there was this one course called Univ 401 Sustainability, and I thought, wow, that's an interesting course, but it's too bad I don't meet the prerequisites for it. But a couple weeks down the line, a friend of mine actually told me about the sustainability studies program, and I thought, oh, that's cool. how can we join it? Though you just sign up for it on your student center, career center. And I thought, oh, that's cool. So I signed up for it in my following year. And the certificate program is really unique in that it combines kind of your traditional ways of learning. So sitting in lecture, absorbing the knowledge that's being thrown at you, but it also combines a lot of experiential learning. So learning by doing. So there are a lot of different projects where we had a hands-on experience with different things. So in our first course of the certificate, we actually looked at the footprint, the ecological footprint of different products. So our group in particular looked at how much it costs to make a single pair of running shoes. And following that, we throughout the rest of the certificate, we worked on a couple of different projects, such as a living plant wall, a sensory room for students to de-stress, and also to help design a community garden. There's a lot of unique opportunities for students in the certificate as well. Myself and another peer, we actually were selected as the recipients of the 2019 TD Sustainability Research Grant. So we conducted research in Manchester, Calgary to kind of look at the effects of food accessibility and transportation issues that surround some of the residents who most often are newcomers to Calgary, and what barriers they face because of those. So we conducted research over the summer of 2019 to look at some of the obstacles and opportunities to help improve their accessibility.
That's awesome. It seems like the sustainability certificate can really lead you to a bunch of different opportunities as well.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, so Amanda, I was wondering if you could maybe talk a little bit about the University of Calgary's institutional sustainability strategy and the progress so far.
Yeah, absolutely. So we do have an institutional strategy. It's one of 4 of the main strategies on campus. So sustainability really is embedded in the university's culture and institutional plans. And the first iteration was published in 2009, and it was successful for about 5 years or so, but we realized that it really focused more on operations. So things like energy and water efficiency, waste management, supply chain management, and purchasing. So it meant that staff in those departments were getting involved in sustainability and making some really important changes and choices. However, it didn't really reach students, which are the main demographic on campus, or it wasn't really embedded in research and education. And we wanted to change that. We really wanted there to be a culture of sustainability all throughout campus. So in 2016, we released a revised strategy, and we focused on other areas, not just operations. We continued to have goals and strategies in an operations and administration framework, but we added a framework for education and research, and also one for engagement. So sort of co-curricular ways to engage with sustainability, and events and programs that were open to the broader community as well. So between those 3 frameworks, they are connected and tied together through experiential learning, as Kevin mentioned. So learning with students from different faculties or different years of study, students working with faculty members or researchers on a project, using the campus to collect data and work on sustainability projects that way, as well as connecting to the community. So looking at community organizations or community leaders in sustainability that we could work with or have connections to with our student, faculty, and staff populations. And we report annually on our sustainability progress, and we report on the university's progress as a whole. So it's not just programs that we as an Office of Sustainability run, but we're looking at programs run through other offices, research that's being conducted, courses that are being offered, as well as continuing to report on our operations and administration. So yeah, the report is always available online. And this year we've connected progress to the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. So these are 17 goals that all United Nations member states signed on to back in 2015. And again, they capture the holistic nature of sustainability. So our most recent report is actually displayed in the SDG. So you can click on a goal such as zero poverty or clean water and sanitation, and you can see how the university is performing in academics and research, engagement, and operations in that area within that goal. So it's a pretty cool tool, and I would encourage everyone to check it out. And it's very inspiring as well.
Yeah, wow, I'm already inspired just hearing about it. No, that seems so interesting. I didn't even know that. That's amazing. Keep in touch with us by following us on our social media platforms at choose.ucalgary on Instagram and the University of Calgary Future Students on Facebook. As well, be sure to check out our videos on the Choose UCalgary YouTube channel. So you brushed a little bit on the research aspect of it. I was wondering maybe if you could talk a little more about the available research opportunities in terms of sustainability on campus, since, you know, the University of Calgary is ranked the number 6 research university in Canada.
Yeah, definitely. So in our most recent report, we found that close to 800 students carried out an experiential learning or research project on sustainability through our Campus as a Learning Lab initiative. So as Kevin mentioned, experiential learning is huge right now, and it's really important for students to get experience that way to sort of diversify their learning and better prepare them for complex real world problems. So yeah, Campus as a Learning Lab or experiential learning opportunities are available in a number of ways. Co-curricularly through volunteer programs that tend to be a bit shorter time commitment, lower time commitment, but still gives you the opportunity to work with stakeholders and work with different students that you might not interact with in your formal classes. And then all the way up to, faculty researchers or graduate students that are conducting experiential learning projects on campus with support from our office. So one example was the Department of Mechanical and Manufacturing Engineering. So a professor and instructor there connected with our office and facilities management to better understand the HVAC system, so heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Wanted to look at those systems on campus and collect data for our campus infrastructure and our buildings. So through our experiential learning programs, they were given access to that data and were better able to research and understand energy consumption and conservation on campus. So with real buildings, with real live data, which was really cool. And similarly, so undergraduates, graduate students, and co-curricular students can get involved in directed studies, thesis work, and other research opportunities. So it really is accessible to everyone and does involve, students, faculty, and staff all coming together, which I think is a really cool and unique experience that wasn't around when I was a student.
Yeah, that's really awesome. And, as the years keep going on, I feel like we're just finding so many more ways to research different initiatives that we can take. So that's really cool. So Kevin, since you've probably had some experience with some of that, and you are a student, obviously, I was just wondering, why would you say it's important for students to care about sustainability and get involved with it?
Yeah, for sure. As we've probably been talking throughout this whole conversation, it's sustainability really does go beyond protecting the environment, reducing how much you drive, or reducing the amount of stuff that you consume. All these factors and all these issues really have a ton of other underlying factors or causes to them. Really, I think for students here at U of C, they're presented with a really unique opportunity that's also really key to sustainability here at UCalgary, which is the opportunity and the chances to collaborate with one another. So here in Canada, at least, it's a very multicultural and very diverse society. And with all the interactions and all these opportunities for students to meet others from a number of different programs or even a wide range of diverse backgrounds, it's really these interactions where students can recognize all these strengths and all these key values that others hold. That's the key and integral part of sustainability that I believe students should care for, because in these times, right, climate change is reaching a critical mass and there's a bunch of turmoil happening all around us. And it really is key for us to work together and collaborate to ensure that we solve all these pressing issues. And for me, at least, the way I see it is that students are the absolute forefront of this movement. And the Office of Sustainability offers so many different opportunities and chances for students to work together and help advance the SDGs and even their own personal sustainability goals, whether it's as minor as I want to reduce how many coffee cups I go through a day, all the way up to I really want to make a positive and meaningful change on the world.
I could not agree more. Students are the future. We are the way of the future, and it's really important for us to share our ideas and come together and use our different viewpoints on everything and take initiative to be more sustainable. So, speaking of which, I know that the University of Calgary campus has been taking initiative to be more sustainable, and I know that there is a virtual sustainable campus tour that is accessible online, but I was just wondering if maybe you could share what we should expect to see in that video and where we can access it.
Yeah, for sure. So you can find the video itself on our website, so ucalgary.ca/sustainability under the buildings and grounds section. And you can expect to see one of the many of the 14 different LEED certified buildings on our campus. So LEED stands for Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design, and it's a third-party certification that recognizes all these different categories. So for example, the energy efficiency, the water efficiency, and the sourcing of the materials for different buildings on campus. And what you can expect to see are some of the most recognizable and popular buildings on campus. So for example, EEL, Energy, Environment, and Experiential Learning, the building on the outskirts of the main campus. And it really does discuss some of the key sustainability features of the buildings. So many of the buildings have a lot of really high efficiency, low flow plumbing to them to reduce the amount of water they consume, a lot of facades on the outside to prevent a lot of sunlight from entering, and therefore a lot of energy being saved from just air conditioning itself. For in particular, the McKimmy Tower, when it comes to mind, there's solar panels on the top. And it's actually interesting, the McKimmy Tower, because it actually has a double skin facade. So the way that it was described in the tour was that the old frame of the old McKimmy Tower was actually retained because the concrete is a really good insulator. So they kept that and built another frame on top of it to ensure that any heat in the winter is kept in, but at the same time, in the summer, when heat is needed to be let out, it can be let out pretty easily as well. We also describe a number of different outdoor sites as well. So for example, our campus community garden, which is run by the garden club here at the University of Calgary. And it's a space where students and staff or any UCalgary member who is a member of the garden club can rent a plot and pretty much plant whatever they want. So flowers, vegetables, fruits, anything they want really. We also have a number of different edible garden sites. So these are sites where basically edible fruits are grown and they're basically free for the picking once they're in season.
That's so cool. You don't even need to bring a lunch.
Yeah, and honestly, it's gone under the radar for the past couple of years. I didn't actually know they existed until I was in the certificate program when one of my peers was actually in the group that helped to research and develop the Edible Gardens project. They told me about it and I thought, wow, there's free food for the picking? That's kind of hard to believe.
Can I add something about the campus community garden that I find really interesting is it's an organic garden and there's communal areas as well. So if anyone doesn't want to commit to a full plot to manage themselves, they can work with the community garden members and take care of a communal area. And because there's no synthetic fertilizers or pesticides, we've made some changes to make it more pollinator friendly for native pollinators because as we know, pollination goes hand in hand with food security. So we have some new wildflower beds that are food and habitat for native pollinators and some other really cool initiatives. that actually helped us earn a B Campus designation through a national organization called Bee City Canada. So our campus has committed to protecting and enhancing native pollinator populations and supporting biodiversity. And a lot of the work that went into that certification happens at the campus community garden. So it's like a really beautiful space and a space where you can grow delicious produce and share in the harvest. So it's one of my favorite places on campus for sure.
That is actually amazing. I didn't even know that place existed, and I am definitely really excited to check it out once I can get back on campus. Okay, so just to end off, I was wondering if each of you could describe sustainability at the University of Calgary with just one word. What would you say it is and why?
I would say holistic. So when I first started at the University of Calgary Office of Sustainability, we had a graphic called the Sustainability Compass, and it was something that was introduced early on when the Office of Sustainability was developed. And the compass has north representing nature, east representing economy, west representing well-being, and south representing society. So we then started reporting into the 17 Sustainable Development Goals, as I mentioned. But one thing about sustainability at UCalgary is it is holistic. So we don't prioritize, environmental sustainability over economic sustainability. We really look at all aspects as being interconnected and equally important and affecting the other aspects as well. So that's something that I really appreciate, is looking at, social justice as sustainability, and energy as sustainability, and also affordable, living in a society where things are affordable and people have access to really good jobs, and how they all kind of work together. It's complicated, but it's fascinating and it's really important. So my word would be holistic.
My one word to describe sustainability at UCalgary would definitely be ambitious. So no matter where you are at UCalgary, there's always something happening in terms of sustainability. Even now, when it's COVID and there's not a whole lot of activity going on, we have students and staff and faculty and everyone from all these different walks of life participating in sustainability in their own capacity or in collaboration with all these others. And at UCalgary, it's so incredible to see that there's a lot of different ways for students, staff, and faculty to both interface and contribute to sustainability, and at so many different scales. And I think it's just really cool to see that UCalgary is providing so many outlets for people to express their own ambitions and their own goals in terms of sustainability.
That is great. Thank you guys so much for being here today. I really appreciate it. And once again, another quick shout out to you guys. I was joined here by Amanda Mosca and Kevin Doe from the Office of Sustainability. For more information about sustainability here at the University of Calgary and to check out the virtual Sustainable Campus Tour, please check the episode notes. I will have everything linked there. And once again, my name is Aidyn. I am the Season 4 host for Choose UCalgary. And thank you guys again so much for being here. I really enjoyed chatting with you guys.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us. Take care.